All right, we're back in the room. Chris Call here, as usual, with Mikey Trudel.
Hey.
Hey, and on the board, like on the fly, Chris, I'm going to do it. DeBenedetto. Is that it? Yes. All right. Here with Rose Leiker today. Hey, so I just got to throw it out there because, I'm just that way. But, we're going to apologize for the delay in the dropping of the podcast. We missed a week because of scheduling difficulties. So we're back, and we're happy to have Rose in the room with us today.
We're hoping to stockpile some too. So.
Yes, we're getting, because I'm on hiatus, Mikey's on hiatus, so we're going to rock out a bunch of them, so we won't have any more lapses, so I apologize again for that. But today, in my mind, I had heard your name, Rose, and always associated with great work.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's a relief.
So in my mind, I was thinking, it's one of the new up and comers, but you've been doing this for a little while now. Right?
I'd say it started propping. Maybe I'm going to age myself. 24, so 13 years now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't so straightforward, but I'd say.
Yeah, so
my first prop gig.
I want to jump right into that. So, how did you get involved in props? I mean,
well, to be honest, I wanted to be a first AD at first.
Oh, really?
And then you thought better of it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Yeah.
Oh, are you a first AD, Chris?
Yeah, that's what he is.
God bless you, my friend.
So I got a little some of it in my life anyway.
Yeah. You get the taste that you need just secondhand.
Yeah, so, and then I ended up volunteering for a job on the weekends in Portland, because that's where I'm from.
Okay.
And they were propping, and I just kind of fell in love with it immediately. I was like, wait, I don't have to worry about the actors coming in on time? I don't have to worry about all this nonsense?
Yes.
I can be creative?
All the headaches.
What?
Yeah.
Are you a naturally creative person, too? Did you
I never thought I was until I joined propping. Yeah.
So, like, when you were a kid, you didn't dabble in art in any way?
I would draw poems. My family's all about music. So like music was always a big part. I did band.
You're in a band?
I was a band geek growing up. Played
What'd
the
you
saxophone.
Play? Saxophone.
Alto.
Nice.
Soprano, tenor.
All
I
right.
couldn't do the bari. It was just too hard. It's too big.
Yeah, I was going to say it's too big. It's like
my fingers
almost
couldn't
as big
reach
as you.
the keys.
That's right. You have to have like Clarence Clemens fingers or something.
Do you still play?
No. I don't.
That's not the kind of thing you throw in the back of your car, right? Just.
I mean, as a prop
I guess
person,
you
a lot
could.
of times you do.
I do have it. I just
gonna
haven't
say.
opened the case and I haven't tried it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fun. So you grew up in Portland?
I grew up in a small town, one stoplight, Rainier, Oregon. Not to be confused with
Rainier, you said?
Rainier, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Not to be confused with the beer, because no, that's Rainier, Washington. Not to be confused with the mountain, the volcano.
Right.
That's Washington.
Yep. Well, interesting.
No one knows this town. It's nothing. One stoplight, really tiny.
Well, you're in the proximity of like the big Rainier that everybody knows. That's problematic.
We're a little shadowed.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's a cute little town.
That's fun. But so again, how did you get involved in film at all? I mean, did you?
I definitely knew I wanted to for probably sophomore year in high school. I was that person who was watching like behind the scenes stuff of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of Lord of the Rings, like all of the behind the scenes, the extended stuff. I was just like, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of that. I didn't know to what extent.
Sure.
Were you watching commentary?
Yes.
And you're not a real film geek unless you watch the commentary.
Yes, I watch commentaries. Yes. And I just, it's just the collaboration of it. I did a little bit of theater, in school. And I just love that artistic collaboration. I was just inspired. It looked like so much fun. And I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. So from then on, I started carrying a camera with me to school every day, filming whatever I could.
Nice.
And
did you ever make a film?
oh my gosh, I did.
Fantastic.
Oh my, let's see. Sophomore year, it was like we had a school project called Lord of the Flies. So we had to read the book, and then we had to do some project at the end. And I decided, let's make a movie. And it was all females except for one male cast. So we called it Queen of the Butterflies instead of Lord of the Flies.
I love it.
It was a piece of work.
How long was it?
Oh my gosh, maybe 15 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe I could be way off though. I haven't seen it.
Does it still
Is
exist?
it out there in the world?
I think it still exists. I have to find it, but I think it's somewhere.
That's
I don't know.
Awesome. I love that. A buddy of mine growing up in college did a zombie movie called KZA, Killer Zombie Assault.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because, zombies are always like really slow. They're always coming at you. He made it that they were like kung fu experts. And
Oh,
they were,
really?
Like, super
That's
fast.
terrifying. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it was really
Isn't that
great.
like 28 Days Later? That's what.
Yeah, 28 Days Later, but with
it's
karate, I guess, right?
yeah.
No, that's what 28. They're making another one of those movies. I know that's not this podcast. They are making another one of those movies too. 28 years later, it's going to be awesome. I love those ones.
That's great.
Amazing. Wow. So, what brought you? How did you end up in LA?
This young man right behind you over
So,
there.
did you guys meet in Portland then?
Oh gosh, I wish it was such a straightforward story.
We don't like.
I was in
straightforward
Louisiana
Okay.
working, and then I kept getting some out-of-state jobs in Ohio, and that's where I met him. Is in Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So, but you started working in film in Portland,
I started working in film in Portland.
Okay.
And then I volunteered for a job to be a prop assistant after propping on a weekend for free.
Right.
And then they're like, hey, do you want to work on a job? It's like just a $1.5 million sci-fi film in Louisiana. And I was like, sure. I'm not doing anything. Why not?
Right. Road trip.
Yeah. So went to Louisiana for 3 months and then moved there right after.
Wow.
Because
Because
didn't have anything else.
Job there.
And that was right when the incentives started popping up.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Getting pretty big. So that was like 2010. And then I started just building my craft. I was like, no one knew me there as an AD whatsoever. I was just Rose Props.
Right.
Department of One. Oh my gosh.
Department of
Department of One. A lot of $1 million and under
I was
films.
gonna say, so you did a lot of low budget and a lot of
low
horror,
budgets.
right?
A lot of horror, sci-fi.
you would do horror by yourself as your whole prop
Oh,
department?
yeah, for a good chunk of them, yeah. Eventually I started getting an assistant, but
Yeah.
a good chunk of them, yeah.
That sounds painful.
It was so painful now that I think about it. There's
Yeah.
oh my god!
I've done
I
a
don't know
couple.
how I could do it again.
I did a couple like tier movies early. Like my first movie was prop mastering was the same deal, and I think the second one was too. And then I just couldn't do it by myself
It's so
anymore.
hard.
Yeah,
But it builds metal.
yeah.
I will say I learned a lot, and,
Yeah.
and I haven't really gotten a chance to assist very much, especially at that time, not really at all.
Yeah.
Like one time, that was it. And you learn. You
Yeah.
learn on the fly. You slip and fall a little bit,
Of
but
course.
you're literally
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
swamp.
There's a lot of those jobs.
Literally.
Yeah.
There's a lot. They're trying to I've been getting a lot of off-tier movie offers that have been like that now. I think that they're trying to sell the one prop master on
Wow.
bigger shit. That's my only deal breaker now. It's like I
Yeah.
was like I can usually work with almost anything. I can't do it by myself anymore.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know about you guys, but I just recently, since the last strikes were resolved, the comeback has been this major attrition that I've noticed where they are trying to do it for a lot less money
yeah.
and less people. I mean, I don't know, Mikey, have you noticed that since coming
Yeah,
back?
yeah, it's been a lot less people and a lot less money with all this stuff. Like I did right before all this started happening. I did a tier movie, a non-union movie actually, but they gave me everything I wanted and everything was fine. And then I feel like the minute that IA started going into negotiations and like the writer's strike thing went into effect, or the writer's negotiation went into effect, that's when you started to see them trying to pick money out. I mean, they're not cutting the talent though. They're still giving them
No.
everything. I think that's what it is. It's like you're giving talent all the money now, and
Right.
with the SAG and WGA stuff, and then they got to cut that money from the budgets are staying the same. That's what
Right.
I'm trying to say.
Right, right. Yeah, it's a disturbing trend that I'm hearing
Yeah.
about a lot. So I'm hoping that doesn't stay like that. But
Yeah,
I
me
guess
too.
we'll see.
I've always had to battle labor. It's always a
Right.
thing. Yeah.
Well, I guess starting from a department of one, it's all,
Yeah,
I guess
totally.
it's all uphill.
I guess the exception would be Curb Your Enthusiasm, because when I started doing that was right after COVID, so it was easier to fight. Being like, well, if someone gets sick, who's gonna come in and know the deal?
Yeah.
So you started Curb as a department of one?
No, no, no.
That's against union rules right there. On that one. Yeah.
No, I just did season 11 and 12.
Okay,
So they took care of me. They definitely
that's
took
good.
care of me. They're good
So
people.
11 and 12 were those the last two? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Those were the last two.
Well, congratulations. You did great work on that.
Oh, thank
and that must have
you.
been a lot of fun.
It was so much. It's such a family.
Right?
Such a family.
Wow. Any any rumblings about anything else coming out of the Larry David camp?
From Larry?
Yeah.
I know. Well, I don't know how much I should.
Don't get yourself
Sorry,
in
Jeff
trouble.
Schaefer. Please forgive me. Jeff Schaefer. I've talked to him a little bit because he still talks to me. He's like, "Do you happen to have this prop?" I'm like, "No, it's in storage.
Right.
I didn't keep
Yeah.
everything." But I know he's working on stuff. I don't know
Great.
exactly what it is.
Okay, well, that's
but
good.
He does.
That's
he's
all
like,
we
"I'm
need.
working
We
on
just need to
things."
know that there's stuff still coming.
Yeah. Because Jeff Schaefer's his right hand. He was like the youngest writer for Seinfeld back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he said he started it when he was 24 years old and was one of the writers. And
Amazing.
he's been with him ever since.
Yeah, well, it worked. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Talented.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So on a show like that, was there a lot of like last minute stuff?
Of course. Yeah. I feel like with comedies in general, there
Right.
is. It's always like, okay, scene's up. Someone on standby, ready by their car, ready at any store possible. Let's go. Let's do this. But I will say Jeff is really good about anticipation, which is like, a godsend when it comes to props.
Right.
Especially comedy and whatnot, if you need doubles. But, there's always that, it happens. But he's
Sure.
also very understanding. I'm just like, how much time do I got? Okay. And if I can't do it, it's never like, I can't. It's, well, I do have this option. Does this work for you?
For sure.
Because with comedy, it's all about the joke.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. You have those instincts
Oh, try.
coming from horror,
Yeah.
right? So you went to, you went to New Orleans, and how long were you
I
there?
was in Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. You weren't in New Orleans.
Wasn't in New Orleans. I mean, I did a lot of my...
You were deep.
Yeah. There was a few little projects that I did in New Orleans, but most of it was Baton Rouge.
So was there like a whole community of film workers in Baton Rouge?
Yeah, there was.
know
I
that.
mean, there wasn't a lot of bigger projects
Sure.
there. Every once in a while there would be, but it was majority the little low budget ones that I did.
Yeah.
And it was with a company that just kept hiring the same people over
Right.
and over. So that's why they kind of like, I assisted that one time. And they're like, Rose, you want to just prop master? You're cheaper. And can we just do it? You could do it. You'll be fine. So that's how I started.
Wow.
So I did like a handful of them. Like Raging Cajun Redneck Gators.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That was a good one. Ghost Shark.
Ghost Shark.
Not Tornado Shark or whatever that. Sharknado.
Sharknado.
Not that one.
Ghost Shark.
We were Ghost Shark.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking quality.
Yeah, they must have had a higher budget, though, right? No, we're the ghost reel.
Yeah, we're the Ghost Shark.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So did you also find yourself having to do more things than props? I mean, were you like doing set dressing and all that stuff as well?
Sometimes, but they did have an on-set dresser. Thank goodness.
Oh, wow. Amazing
Yeah.
that they...
Thank goodness.
Yeah, see, I came up in the days where you would have a second prop person before they would give you have an on-set dresser, but times have changed.
Yeah.
But then again, I came up as an on-set dresser too, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah.
See, I think my first job where I had to do that, where I was prop master and on-set dresser, was here in Los Angeles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I was like, this is not fun. How am I supposed to prep the next scene?
Yeah, exactly. And so you were doing all features down in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was all features.
Had you moved there, or were you just...
I did move there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I only flew in for that one job at the very beginning, and then I moved like 3 months later after that job started.
And you just liked it, or
It was
just
great.
Too much work kept coming. Yeah.
I was in my young 20s.
Yeah,
so it was
right,
like,
exactly.
it was just an adventure.
Yeah.
I had the energy.
Yeah, how
What
did
is
you
that?
feel about moving from Portland to steamy Baton
Oh
Rouge?
my gosh. The people were fantastic.
Aren't
Yeah.
they? I love the people
food
of
is too,
Louisiana.
huh?
The food is great, except I'm not a big fan of spicy.
What?
Oh, wow.
I know,
That's a
I
bummer.
know, but I love oysters. I love
Right.
seafood, so that was great. The weather, I'm so sorry, even though it makes your skin fabulous. The
Yeah.
humidity is
Humidity is
terrible.
tough.
Do it. Can't
was
do
rough.
it.
Yeah.
I could say, I will say that of all the places I've been in the country, the people of Morgan City, Louisiana were the best,
so
nicest people that I've ever
hospitable.
worked with
So
or met.
nice.
Yeah,
If
fantastic.
you needed help with anything, they're like, I'll help you.
Yeah,
Sure,
100%.
I'll help." I was like, well, thanks.
I know. I brought one crew member down with me when I was in Louisiana, and then they had me hire a local guy, and this guy, Kenny, I can't remember his last name, unfortunately, but he saved our ass on a daily basis. It was amazing, the stuff that he would come up with. We were doing the remake of The Yearling, and so like every day the call sheet like had all this livestock on it, that they
Wow.
wanted around, and they wanted this 300-pound pig, this dead pig that the bear had killed. I'm like, okay,
You
I
don't
could
have
get,
that in,
I
like,
could
your back
get that.
pocket?
Yeah, well,
It's
Kenny's
not-
like, I could get that, no problem. I'm seriously. And so the next morning, a pig, 300-pound pig, shows up, but he was frozen solid
Oh no!
because they got him out of a butcher or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we had to manipulate that pig a little bit to make him work.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, that's funny. So from Louisiana and then Ohio, okay.
And then Ohio for a little bit. I never moved to Ohio, but I did a
Right,
couple
but you
features up
found
there.
something in Ohio. That
I
was
did find
good.
something in Ohio.
What were you shooting there?
I shot A Kind of Murder is what it's called.
Okay.
And then I also shot a Miles Davis movie up there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
did props on a Miles Davis movie?
I did.
Wow,
With
fantastic.
Don Cheadle was the actor and
Right.
the director.
Yeah, I
It was a
remember
directorial
seeing that.
debut as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Don's cool.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah. So where in Ohio?
It was in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I love that city.
It's a good town.
Yeah, and
as
again,
good
good
as
people.
Cleveland, but-
I met amazing crew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've been
And,
really
and again,
fortunate.
there's crew in Cincinnati, right?
There is,
It's
yeah.
amazing. There's so much crew everywhere in this country.
I know.
I love that there's all these little communities of film workers all over now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
like it.
yeah,
I don't mind.
that's good. So from Ohio you were back to Baton Rouge, but what brought you to LA?
This guy. Yeah, I met my husband, now husband,
Mm-hmm.
and we decided let's take the risk and I'll move over.
Yeah. Let's
And
go
then-
bat with the big players.
Then
Yeah.
I was shocked because my union card didn't translate or transfer over.
Right,
So I was
yeah.
like,
of
wait,
course.
what? I have
Did
to
you think it was before you came over?
Honestly,
or-
I'm going to say I wasn't smart enough to even do the research. I was like, I'll be fine. Let me just, it'll be all right. I'll figure it out.
And you did.
I did figure it out. Thank goodness. Louisiana's a right to work state. So I
Right.
worked with a lot of designers who were already in the union or,
Right.
worked on that caliber of shows. So eventually I hopped on a job that flipped and I got
Nice.
lucky. And it took about a year.
Oh, that is lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I heard a lot of horror stories of people who have just struggled with that and finding that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Took me like 4 or 5 years.
Right. But you did that program. What was it called again?
What I got in through the new media loophole,
Yeah.
new media loophole, like where you could work on a show and then they changed the rules around new media and they blended it with the industry roster.
Right.
So I just got grandfathered in when they changed the rules on it. Thank God.
nice.
Yeah, because it would have been tough, but
Yeah.
yeah, a year is great.
Yeah, I was so lucky. I was really worried.
Yeah.
Like I can't $100 a day. I can't. How do you live off of this? How
So-
do people do this?
Were you able to find enough prop master work with the connections that you already had in LA, or are those all new formed?
Pretty much new form.
New
I mean, there
form.
were a few, of course, that I did get to meet. Katie Byron, she's fabulous. Tom Lozowski helped me out. But a lot of it was new. It just grew.
Yeah.
I did a commercial that was non-union, and then that's where I got my first union TV show.
Right.
No, I'm Sorry was what it was called. And then it just grew from there, meeting fabulous people.
I'm Sorry was a great series, by the way.
It was fun.
I really liked it
I
a lot.
only did the first season.
And you did Smilf, which is awesome
I did Smell too.
as well. You did some fun shows, I gotta say.
I would say I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, once I got away from the horror. I mean,
Well,
I like horror films. Don't get me wrong; they're fun to work on.
It's so bloody.
Yeah,
mean,
a lot of chocolate syrup, and
Yeah.
and you have to make your own because you can't afford to buy it.
It's creative though. That's why I like doing
That's-
horror stuff.
for sure.
Yeah, it's fun and you got to figure out like a lot of things.
That's
yeah.
what I like the most about anything, honestly. I like the collaboration of different departments when you're talking to stunts, when you're talking to special effects, and you got to figure out the shot.
Right.
What's the safe way to do it? How
Right.
do you do it?
And that's a scary thing. Like when you first
that.
get the script and you read it through, I was like, it's always like the heart drop moment because like I always feel so unsettled like, at first run through of a horror script because you're like,
It's overwhelming.
I don't know how to do any of like how the hell. And then you have like your first production meeting and things, the stuff starts to fall into place, and then you can start getting creative and figuring stuff out, which it starts to feel really good and fun and exciting.
Right.
Yeah,
you know. So I think you get to do a lot with horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I do miss. I've been doing a lot of comedy lately.
Right.
I do miss that part.
Well, comedy is a different animal for sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
it's so intense.
Yeah.
And on the page, it seems so easy.
I would say out of all of I would say comedy is the most difficult.
Yeah, I
out
agree.
of all the genres
Well,
out there.
because comedy, I'm doing comedy right now. It's like that things change so much,
last
and
minute,
Yes.
and then you need doubles. It's like,
Right.
right,
And everything's a gag.
yes,
everything's a gag.
Yeah.
because everything relies most with the joke. It has
Right.
the joke has
Right,
to land.
and a joke could have been thought by the director, producer, writer last night before
Right.
they come to
Or
set.
even
I got
worse,
this great joke idea.
pictures up, and they're like, "Wait a second, this would be a great idea."
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Or,
you like
or,
five
they,
of
or they show up with a candy bag, right? With all of the alternatives that it could be. And it's like, oh,
Right.
that'd be nice to let me know that.
Yeah.
You got that, right? Oh, yeah, sure. I got that.
That's why with like comedies, I'm always with all the directors. I was like, don't be worried about texting me in the middle of the night. Just tell me as soon as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't. I don't care if I'm on the clock. Just tell me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always been my thing with production. I'd be like, if they thought about it and they took the time to put it on paper and then send it, they could have called.
Yeah.
Okay, and it only behooves you guys to give me more time. So
I want to get you what you want.
Right.
I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
I try to make like a connection with like the a writer's assistant or
Yeah.
the script coordinator or something like that, and say, hey, listen, if you hear something, drop me a dime. Okay, it doesn't always work because they don't want to give up stuff before they're allowed to, but sometimes if you make a good connection, you can get that info.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I always say, well, if you just like don't have it one time, then they'll do it. And it's like, yeah, you never do that
No.
Yeah.
as much as you want to. But all right, I'm going to jump right into, because the thing that stuck out to me the most when I looked you up was the first thing that came up was stunts.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what?
I dabbled in it a little bit. It was so much fun.
Before props or
At the same time.
At the same
So when I
time.
went to Louisiana, I was like, oh, this looks like they're having so much fun doing all the horror movies, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right.
I want to be stabbed.
Do stuff like this. You know, I've always been like a little athletic, abled person, and
Right.
I'm always a little adventurous on the side. And I don't know, I was still at the beginning, still in my younger 20s. I was like, I want to do it. So I did a little bit. You
Well,
know,
but how did that transpire? You just like say, hey.
I talked to the coordinator just like you know.
Right.
And then you just talk. And it's like, hey, I would love, if you need, you know, a Filipino woman, if you happen to need someone, you know, I would be interested in doing stunts. So I was working on a feature and they needed a female at the last second because they wanted to add a little stunt in there. So the coordinator comes up to me, do you want to do it? We can tap Hartley you into
I was
it.
gonna, yeah.
So I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So I did. I got plummeted by they just wiped me out. A crowd of zombies, and one guy just plowed me.
Oh,
Took
so
me
you
out a
got
couple
you got
times.
attacked by a pack of zombies?
A couple times.
Nice.
Yeah, zombies just like me.
I want to see that clip.
There is a clip on YouTube.
That's
It's the only thing I think that actually made it on YouTube. Everything else, I feel like I've done a lot and it's been cut.
I know,
It
right?
is what it is.
Yeah, that's our industry.
Yeah, but I played like the Vivadine woman is what my title was, and then I got attacked by a zombie.
Do you
Ripped
keep,
my arm off.
Do you keep your SAG card up to?
No.
No.
I let it go.
You let it go?
I let it go.
So was that a one-off
For
stunts?
I did like a handful of stuff.
Yeah, I'm seeing 22 Jump Street, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, but those were, you know, like a day here and there. It wasn't
Yeah.
like I was on full time.
Yeah.
Don't let that deceive you.
What did you do on Planet of the Apes?
I was a human that got attacked by apes.
Oh,
Oh.
those damn monkeys!
Actually, and then Doug Harlocker was there that day.
Oh,
wow,
cool.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just there for a few days and died on camera. Again. They cut that scene though, so it's not there. But it's really cool.
But at least you
seeing-
got to do it. That's fun.
I was there, and it was cool. It was being
Yeah.
around all those artists and seeing the technology at the time.
Yeah.
Was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. I've never done stunts. I've done a little background
Oh, really?
once in a while on a couple things. But yeah, do you ever hear of a, which is pretty funny right now, but do you ever hear of a movie called Bob Roberts
No.
No.
with Tim, what's it called? Oh my God. Susan Sarandon's husband.
Robbins.
Thank you. Good God.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins. Yeah, he did a movie called Bob Roberts where he played a Bob Dylan-esque type musician who was, but he was conservative.
Okay.
And he was running for Congress in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay. And so It was crazy. It's an amazing movie. And he had to. He did this thing where he faked an attack on him, and was shot, and then was like in a wheelchair so he could win the election. But then Giancarlo Esposito was a reporter who was tracking him and trying to expose him. And so it was this whole thing where, and we shot it all in Pittsburgh, and there was a scene where a bunch of Bob Roberts fans, crazy Bob Roberts fans, were mixing it up with some protesters. And I was one of the protesters, and one of the main Bob Roberts fanatics was a young Jack Black.
Oh, really?
Really?
That's pretty cool.
It was super cool. So I got to mix it up with Jack Black on camera, so that was pretty fun.
That's great.
But yeah, it's a good movie actually. And Bob and Tim did all this music for it. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's funny because it's all this like really radical right wing theology in his music.
Yeah.
And so Tim was like, I never want this to be released to the public, this soundtrack, but I actually have a copy of it. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
So did you only do stunts for like just to try it out and see, or did you ever have any?
At a certain point, I thought that was going to be my
Your new thing?
I thought
Yeah.
it was going to be my new thing, but eventually I decided, for longevity, for me, my body,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with props. And I do like the creativity part of it. Like, of course, stunts does have its own own creativity within it.
Sure,
Oh, definitely.
But I think I decided to go with props. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Good call.
I think it'll save my
Yeah,
body a little
exactly.
bit better.
Were you? Did you like? Were you a gymnast or anything? Like, do you have any of those skills?
I just did a lot of sports.
A lot of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'll help too.
So you did sports in high school?
Oh yeah.
Nice. What?
Like soccer, high jump. I was a state high jumper.
Whoa.
Nice.
Yeah, but they had to lower the bar height for me that year because I guess everyone that year just wasn't as good as previous years.
Wow.
And I didn't clear it.
Wow.
Oh.
That's okay. I still gotta go. This is one of those proud moments.
Yeah.
That's fun. So have you two ever worked together, your husband and you?
Oh yeah. That's how we met. We worked together
Just at one time?
twice, right? 2 times
Yeah, I think it's twice. Yeah.
or 3 times.
It's two or three. They all blend.
I think it's
together.
3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Maybe 4 actually, because you did reshoots for beef.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You did beef?
I did.
How come I missed that?
Maybe it's not on there.
Why not?
You should update it if it's not on.
Are you
there.
kidding me? That's right. That's how I first heard about you because I love that series.
Oh, it was a good one.
You must have had a blast on that one too, right?
I did. I'm so fortunate that the majority of the jobs I've worked on have had a blast, and that's why I keep sticking with it.
Yeah.
'Cause if you don't, I mean, you're here, you're working more than you're with your family most of the time.
100%.
You gotta love it. I don't understand how people do it, and they don't. So I'm very passionate about it.
So how did you get involved in that project?
Michael Hersey. I've worked with him a few times, and he recommended me to Grace, who's the production designer,
Mm-hmm.
and then Sonny, who's the showrunner, one of the showrunners. He knows Jeff Schaefer from Curb, so
I
he
see.
vetted me that way.
Right.
And I got the job.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. That's one of the great things about this industry. It's like you never know how you're going to get it.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Everyone knows everybody
And
here and
that's
there,
it.
and
And it's interesting because you get in with a group of people and you start it just like expands from there in that genre or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I've noticed there's a lot of similarities between a lot of the shows you've done.
yeah, even like on this show that I'm working on right now, it's like I worked with the Curb people, half of it's Curb people, and then there's some from Roar, the Apple series, the anthology Apple series, and there's some from all these other. It's like all these different worlds that I've been able to implement are now combined. It's just it's great. I love that. I love that about this industry.
Roar was was it the showrunners are Carly and?
Yes, I forgot the other one.
I know. I'm
Sorry.
like blanking. They did Glow though.
Yes, they were. It was the Glow Crew. Yeah.
I see.
and they're wonderful, right?
Yeah, they were so sweet.
It was fun.
They were great.
Yeah.
That was a tough show.
I
I was
bet.
gonna say because everything was different.
Yeah, it's
Every
anthology.
segment,
Yeah.
There was no hiatus in between each episode, and
each episode was his complete own
completely
story.
different
Yeah.
director.
That's how
different
horror
story.
stories was. Yeah.
Right.
different
It's fun, right?
actresses. It was
Or like
so
Black Mirror.
tough.
Did you have any down days in between episodes?
No, nothing.
Really?
You did 8 in a row, bam, bam, bam.
Yes.
Oh my God! So and you have a great set crew, I'm imagining.
I have a fantastic set crew. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I have these two. They're my two right hands. And I
Amazing.
if they ever decide to leave me, oh no.
I know, right?
I would be lost.
That's the horror stories. At least, like they would give us like 3 days in between each episode because it'd be
at
so
least you
hard
can
to like.
transition your truck.
And they would keep your whole. They would let me keep my whole crew on, so you could have the whole crew basically
Right.
because you're rapping while you're
yeah,
basically
and they have to
prepping.
read the script.
Yeah,
so
I know.
they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So like the transit, it took a whole day just to wrap out and the trailer, and then another
Yeah.
day just to like get everything up in,
Sure.
because then you got to do like we had to do our show and tells in between that and everything. So it was like within these packed things.
Oh,
So
yeah.
not having that sounds terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I usually like to be on set, at least be around, like work off the trailer or something
Yeah.
like that. But this job, I couldn't because I was constantly like, there was prepping 3 jobs at the same time. The
Right.
one that's shooting, and because the director, we would shoot. Hopefully I don't mess this up. I think it was 10 days each episode. Mm-hmm. But the directors would be on for 15 days prior to
Right.
the first day of shooting.
Oh.
So in theory, I'm prepping 2 jobs while one's shooting. So it's like 3 jobs at the same time is what it felt like.
Wow. That's
And then
amazing.
some had like some fabrication that needed to be done in advance. So it'd be like, okay, there's number 4 now. Well, we got to train a duck, so I got to get these things. Okay. So you need this in advance.
That's
Right.
nuts. I mean, and was it all on a studio, or was it all?
We shot, was it Raleigh? We shot it, some of it, it's all over the place. We shot in Santa Clarita, 4 minutes from my house,
Nice.
which is great.
Nice. That's bonus.
You don't get that often.
No.
And then all over town, and then we also had some stage work also. Like all
Wow,
the
so it
duck
was
stuff
a-
had to be really controlled on a stage, so we did build that house.
Right, but a lot of location.
A lot of location.
Wow, that's always
Yeah,
tougher.
it's one of those projects where I struggled, but I want to do it again. Because I
Yeah.
learned so much.
No,
And
yeah.
It's like oh my gosh, I just want to do it again.
Yeah, you get a lot of experience when you're doing a
Yes.
completely different thing every single episode.
Yeah, so I'm not afraid to try it. But yeah, I wouldn't be upset if someone called me and said, "Hey, I got an anthology. Let's do it."
So, well, okay, yeah, that was not that long ago, right?
No.
And then you did You People.
Oh yeah.
What was that like?
Oh yeah. You People was great. It was another one that had like multiple names while we were filming it.
Yeah.
That's with Kenny Barris. That was his directorial debut too. I've done a lot of directorial debuts.
Interesting. Must be something about your personality that think it's going to work really well with new directors.
Well, I try. I'm always try to be as supportive as I can. If they want ideas, I'll give them ideas. If they don't, I'll just do what they want.
Right.
Whatever. I try to pride myself in just work however anyone needs me to work, basically.
Right.
Because everyone does things differently.
Well, that is the hallmark of what we do. I mean,
Yeah.
as more flexible as you could be, the better.
Yeah, you know how many times I wish that there was like a playbook on how to be a prop master?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
I didn't get to assist very much, so I was like, am I
would-
asking all my
yeah.
assistants who have gotten to? I was like, so am I doing this right? I mean,
Right.
just from your experience,
Right.
is there an easier way to do this? Like, what does your budget look like?
Yeah.
Am I doing it right? I don't
no,
know.
that's true.
That's where PMG has saved me, is just being
That's-
able to ask those questions without being judged.
Yeah.
Exactly one of the big reasons of why I wanted to join the PMG was like I want that community of people I can talk to and
Right.
ask, is there anyone who could take me under their wing a little bit and just guide me or correct something I'm doing, find an easier way to do something? Like,
Yeah, no, that's
exactly
huge
it.
because I noticed that you haven't assisted a lot.
no.
Yeah, that was my experience as well, and it's the same thing. You grow up thinking, I think I'm doing this right, and again, you have
Yeah.
to ask people. It's like, are other people doing this like this? Because even to this day, I have no idea really what a lot of other prop masters how they
Yeah.
work.
Right. And as somebody that has assisted a lot, it doesn't really I mean, it doesn't matter because every single person does everything completely different. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
crazy.
Wow.
I mean, there's like a couple like textbook things. It's like, what, you're doing a bar scene, you're gonna have a gridded tape. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So there's like
Sure.
some telltale things that are like the easy cheats that have kind of real time figured it out. But everybody does everything, like they prioritize different things
Right.
and stuff like that when you go in.
And
So-
then I guess I'm assuming too that like different prop masters have different levels of involvement with their crew.
oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like
That's what I've heard.
Like I'm like you, where I try to work off the office in the trailer as much as possible whenever.
Yeah,
I
I don't
can.
want to be on set, like stuck on set, because then how do I prep?
You
but
can't.
Right. No. So I like to be in walkie distance from
Yes.
so I can at least put an open walkie on the trailer and be able to work. But just because I like being in earshot when I can. So if I can work off the office there, you can pop it in if there's something big or those big scenes. But
Right.
where some prop
And
and
masters.
just extra support for your on set too.
No,
you
too.
know?
There was
They know I got their back.
Totally.
Yeah.
There
Right.
a lot of jobs when I first started assisting, like union jobs, I'd never met the prop master, like ever.
Right.
I've been told that from so many of my day players and assistants. I was like, really?
Yeah.
That blows my mind. But everyone
Yeah.
does it differently.
Yeah.
I've had that for sure. Like on Winning Time, when we had like 7 people working in the, at the stadium or whatever, I would like blow through. I didn't see everybody, and then people tell me later, "Oh yeah, I worked with you." And I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Sorry.
One of my assistants is one of them. I think I was here for that. He's like, I worked for you on Winning Time. And you're
Right.
like, oh, you did?
Thank you so very
Thank
much.
you.
I'm so sorry, but again, I mean, it's great. If we could clone ourselves and be both places, we totally would. I love working the set because that's where all the action is. But when you do television, you can't. So you have to give that up to a certain extent, and to be close is one thing. But when they're on location, and you have to be back at the studio for meetings.
Yeah.
Well, now all the meetings are almost hybrid Zoom anyway. So
Right.
that, I mean,
Yeah. Majority of the TV shows that I've done, like I think for the first 4 of them, it was the actor, the writer, the showrunner, and the actor were the same people, and the
Wow.
director was the same person.
Oh.
So it was all there. It's like, I'm Sorry Was That Way with Andrea, Curb Your Enthusiasm,
Right.
Right.
Kenya Barris for Black AF, and I don't know, I'm drawing a blank for the rest, but yeah.
Sure.
So it's like, I don't know, am I eventually going to see the other format?
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, having done a lot of features and television, do you have a preference?
I think they both have their benefits. I've been asked that question quite a bit, but it's like I don't think I could choose which one. It's just
They're two completely different.
they're very
animals, for
different. They
sure.
are very different. I think I like that I get a little bit more creativity when it comes to features.
Right.
A little bit more input sometimes.
And more time to
More
get
time.
stuff.
Yeah,
and-
more time, and you hope you have a script.
Right,
More than a
exactly.
week in advance. You hope so, but.
Well, I mean, what I like about features is that there's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sometimes they add days or whatever, but you know that as you're getting stuff done, your load gets lighter as you're getting
Yeah.
closer to the end. With television, it's just rock and roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you can be on set for a lot of it.
Yes,
for movies,
100%.
I mean, the idea is to prep the whole thing out
Yes.
in prep. you
Yes,
know?
or as much as possible.
The
As much
idea.
as you can. Yeah.
Right, but at least, but again, that's a time and a place where you can still be on location while you're getting stuff together and and still prepping, and you could still be there. But with television, I find that even if I'm on the same studio as my where we're shooting, there are days that I don't make it to the set at all.
Yeah.
Because it's a half-hour comedy. It's just all happening so fast.
It's
Yeah.
so fast. Yeah.
So
I
that's
can't wait.
so again, that's to me where your crew comes in.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we do it without a great crew?
Another thing I've been really fortunate about is majority of my TV shows that I've done, I've gotten all the scripts up front. So that's been kind of handy.
That is nice. That
Yeah.
does seem
Yeah,
to
'cause-
be more the case these days.
Yeah, because we were talking when we
I
had
wish.
to take.
Oh yeah, not Mike's case.
Not in my case.
Yeah, we were talking when we had like a little break when you're switching over the tape. But a lot of my series they're like 12 episodes. I haven't done the 24. Like I can't imagine
Right.
it's showing on TV and you're still shooting. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
so
crazy.
interesting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. But again, they build in hiatuses, which are super helpful.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Just to catch your breath. Like you said on this anthology where they're just like 8 in a row, it just proves the point that the reason that they do these is because the actors need break or they need to come up with scripts or whatever. It's not about the crew. The crew you just have to muscle through it. It's amazing. Wow. So what else? So what was like? Do you have a favorite project?
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? It's such a.
I mean, I really did like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think that's pretty up there.
How is
I
it?
don't doubt it.
Yeah. How is it going into something that has so many seasons and has such a style
I
and
was
being the new person in the thing?
Extremely intimidated.
Have they?
I was worried.
Have they gone through a lot of prop masters or like
A
with
few
that
of
many
them,
seasons?
yeah. I think they have. I mean, they did take like a 6-year break.
A 6-year
Right.
break, right?
Yeah,
And
but there's still
when you came back, that was it. The return from the 6-year break was
no,
that?
no,
No. Okay.
No. Just I think that was like I don't know. I could be wrong. Sorry, diehard fans out there.
Yeah.
But I think it was season 8 when they came back.
Got it.
Yeah, so they were there for a few years, and then I took over. But a lot of the people I work with are the same. Like the people who were with Kenya for Black AF, they did Curb.
Oh,
So
I
that's
see.
how they met me, and they're like, we want to bring you on, and they would chant, "One of us."
Oh my
I was
God.
like, okay, I'll cross over.
yeah. And that's a heavy location show too, right?
Yeah.
It's just all.
Oh yeah,
location.
Brentwood.
Yeah.
Oh, Brentwood. Oh, those
Yeah.
neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of sets on that show for sure.
Yeah, they didn't like to build. It's all location.
Yeah.
But that's part of the charm of that show,
That's true.
Yeah.
for sure.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, you really feel like you're there in Brentwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels
Oh, we
more
were.
raw. And how long did that go for?
I did 2 seasons. 11 was when it was during COVID.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like generally we would start shooting in October and we would go until March. I think for both seasons it was around that time.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good then. They're starting to bring COVID. Like the show I'm on was brought the COVID team back on for.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Is that crazy?
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
It was the last two.
fever, don't come in.
Yeah, last 3 shows I had nobody, and now I'm getting tested every day again.
Are you
And-
kidding?
No.
Wow.
Yeah. I know it
Every
was like
day.
bizarre. I was like, I thought,
It's-
and we have
Did
to
you-
wear masks on set when there's talent on set too.
Really?
Whoa. Did you guys have an outbreak or something?
Apparently since they started testing, they said LA numbers are up, so that's why they started doing it, and we've had 2 people test positive already.
Well, I'm sure people test positive all the time. and
They
they
Yeah, I'm
just
get
don't
sure.
know.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
sure.
So, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess maybe it's just my show.
Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing of that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, mine's nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
what went in.
So, is there a favorite genre that you have?
I mean, comedy is fun for its challenges. I do miss horror because of the hands-on experience that I get.
Right.
Those are generally the low-budget ones. I haven't really worked on a higher-budget horror film, so I don't quite know how that goes. Dramas. I guess I'm just, I don't know. I don't know. I think I
know.
can find the beauty in all of it.
Right,
you
because
know?
sometimes
There's pros and
dramas can be
cons.
boring. I mean, let's
can
just
be.
face it. you
I
know.
mean, on Marriage Story,
Right. I was going to ask you about that. That was an intense.
that was very intense. It was another one of those things where I did have some struggles and I would love to do it again.
I
you
see.
know?
Sure.
I guess I'm just one of those people that's like, I may have screwed up here and there, whatever, failed, whatever, but I want to do it again.
Yeah.
I've learned so much.
Yeah, sometimes when it's not so intense, you have a tendency to
Get laxative.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's it's so funny because usually whenever I make a mistake, it's usually something because of that, some like you just took your eye off the ball for a second.
Yeah. I'm generally a person not afraid of challenges. I
Right.
kind of like it. Like,
Sure,
I would rather be stressed than bored.
Yeah.
right.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
know.
I hate
What's
to
wrong
Throw me
with us?
Throw me for a loop.
I-
I'm okay. Let's
Yes.
bring it, but I really hope I can succeed.
I hate a straight up cell phone show. It's just
No, I
that's
know.
it. I get so bored. So horror, that's why I like horror, because it was like you're doing something the whole time.
That's
you're cleaning
true.
something the whole time. You're
cleaning
yeah. Cleaning a lot of the time. Repainting, getting them in.
Wow. What else? I was going to ask you something else. I can't remember what it was now.
You want to talk about trailers?
Trailers?
I have a new trailer.
Yeah, that's what I want to. And I want to talk to everybody about trailers, just because you just outfitted a new trailer, right?
I did.
And that's why.
I was thinking film trailers, and I was like, what you're doing?
I didn't end
No,
up
you're
adding trailers now?
No, prop trailers. Prop trailers.
Yes, let's talk
And
trailers.
we've been getting a lot of requests to talk about it on the show too. So I think you're a good person
great.
to talk to.
I hope so. I mean, I'm very new to the world of owning my own trailer.
Well, that's
so-
why, because everyone's always like, "Oh, well, how do you?" You walked onto my trailer, and you're like, "I'm thinking about getting a trailer," and then a week later,
Okay,
you
well,
had a trailer.
I was
like, "Whoa!"
I was thinking about it
You
a little
nailed
bit
it.
longer than that, but yeah, I definitely wasn't sure if it was ever going to happen for me so quickly. But then the opportunity rose, and I've looked at a few of them prior to talking
Right.
to you, but they were just way out of my price range. I couldn't afford it,
Yeah.
Right.
and I was just like, I don't even know how the upkeep. I don't know anything. It's really
It's
it's
daunting,
intimidating. It's
yeah.
a lot to learn.
It is.
It's like I hear horror stories of gates malfunctioning
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
in the middle of the
Lord.
night when you're trying to get home.
I have
And I'm
the
like,
best gate guy if you ever need it. Anyway.
send it to me just in case.
Yeah.
I'm not unhappy with who I've
Right.
called, but you
What
never
did?
know.
First of all, what did you work off up until you got your trailer?
Whatever production would rent me, I would always ask for a trailer. They would always put me in a 5-ton or 10-ton. But
Right.
yeah,
Did
And
you get a trailer on a couple shows though? Or?
yeah. On
And-
beef, they actually gave me because I didn't have one on beef.
Right.
They got me a trailer, but
And did they just get you an empty box, or did you
Yeah.
rent really?
empty box? And I always had everything to outfit it. I always had shelving units already in my storage.
okay.
Because I had like a 400 square foot storage unit in Santa Clarita,
Right.
and eventually added wheels to those shelves. So
Right.
we just rolled them on and rolled them off.
But that still takes like 2 or 3 prep days
100%.
alone
It
just to
takes
do.
time. It takes time.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember when I didn't have a trailer at this point now, but I do remember. What I do remember about it was such a nightmare to have to always load and unload a trailer after every show, and not to just have a place that's just set up and ready to rock.
Yeah, there's no home.
Yeah, and there's like
I
no
have a home
workshop.
now.
It
Yeah.
feels like home. Yeah.
And you know where everything is, and it's just like, yeah.
My trailer just arrived at the stage on Friday, and I was like, I feel whole again.
So how long?
Are you finished building it out?
No. I mean,
I
I'm still
don't
like
think
my own
anybody's-
little touches. I just added AC, by the way. 'Cause
Oh, really? Oh, you got
Nice.
your mini split.
I got my mini split.
Nice.
I got some help from some special effects friends who helped me out
Yes.
install it. Because I was like, guys, I'm gonna die in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
I need
No doubt.
help.
So now this air conditioning, is it just for the gold room?
It's for my little office in there.
Yeah.
But and then I have another little fan that like helps transfer over, and
Sure.
then I have a little portable AC unit that I
Okay.
was using prior to getting this mini split
Right.
installed.
That's what I
That will
have.
help. Yeah, that will help.
And you guys
the rest
both
of it.
have the partition at the back of the
do.
truck?
I have like a
nice.
wire gate, so I have something that locks and closes, but it's crosshatch, so it's like it's open aired. But
I
I
see.
put up last show. I put up thermal like curtains, so it's like temperature
Right.
curtains. So I'll run like an AC or a little mini heater, and it's just like the last 12 feet of my trailer into the thing, and that has done okay.
Right.
It's never been I feel like I'll get a mini split at some point in time when
What's
I
a
have
mini
money.
split?
It's like one of those air conditioning units that's just the bar
window
at the
oh.
top.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, most of the trailers that you see AC in, that's what they have in there.
Right. Yeah. I'm old school. So I had them cut a window unit in the front of nose of my trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It
works.
definitely works in the gold room. It doesn't, of course, make it all the way down, but yeah. You close the door in the gold room and it gets cold in there. And that's
Yeah.
nice. But then you're always running into like blowing a fuse.
Yeah.
do
I'm
that.
going to be learning that.
Well, at ISS, you always are blowing fuses no matter what. It doesn't matter
I know,
where you
that
plug it
spaghetti
in.
Western up there.
Yeah, you just turn on one thing. And okay, my AC. That's one thing, because the portable AC unit doesn't work at ISS because it doesn't have efficient
Right.
like energy to be
Yeah.
able to power it. So I can't unless I like unplug my neighbor's trailer if they're not there.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to buy
Yeah.
this.
It's hot out. Gotta. So, but you bought? Did you bought? What used to be, it was somebody else's prop trailer at some point?
It was someone else's prop trailer at one point. So it already had like the wooden shelves built in. He already painted it white.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, I like this. It's a little different. It feels clean.
Right.
And he took such amazing care and he added so much detail to it that I appreciate so much.
And this is just one that was available, right?
It
that
was
you
available.
Saw and
I
you're,
mean,
like, sold.
Yeah, I planted seeds out to a lot of Teamsters.
Of
and I'm
course.
like, if you see anything, just, message me or whatever. And this just happened to be the price range. ISS helped me out, which it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank God for Greg Bilson.
Yeah, Greg. Like
Rick.
it took a lot of people to get this to happen. A lot of favors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they helped me make my dream come true, which
Yep.
is pretty cool.
Yeah. Did you know how you were going to outfit it? Because I know you pulled some stuff out. You rebuilt some new shelves and
Generally.
like you
Once
have a
I look at
schematic
it
in your brain.
I do that with like anything. I walk into a house, I'm like, this is what I would change here.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
what I would do here. So I kind of did that already in my head. It's like, this is my plan. I had a list, but I got it a week before shooting.
Oh, wow.
So we didn't have much time to really outfit it. Luckily, I had the shelves already. So,
Right.
there was a few like wooden pieces, the upper shelves already in there, but I needed the other shelves.
Sure.
So I just had like, the Lowe's or Home Depot industrial shelves, just rolled them in
Yep.
and they worked. They fit, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And we were able to just function through that. And then every once in a while, there's a little bit of downtime in the studio. Me and my truck guy, Matt, we do add little things. Hey, construction, you want
Yeah.
to build me a little table? Hey, you got some downtime?
Yeah,
Wanna help me with
100%.
this?
Yep. I mean, that's how my trailer came together too. I just used to have just like industrial shelves and a couple boxes. Then one time on Alias, some special effects guy at the Disney lot was like dumping all these cabinets, and my assistant was like, "Hey, can I take those?" He said, "Yeah," and put them all in. They're still there to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I got my trailer. I didn't even have a week actually. I was literally it was during COVID, and like when my new job started, I had already started like prepping, but the other show kept pushing because people kept getting COVID. It was like during the heart of it, so it was just like everyone. I was like, I have to leave the show, and I got on the trailer, and it was empty for like the first 2 weeks, and then literally the 5-ton just came in. We're just like, let's just dump everything on, and we'll worry about everything else
Right.
later.
Yeah.
And we were constantly like throughout that whole season of the show, just tweaking little things and like permanently putting
It's
like
like
these
moving
rolling
into a new
cases in.
house. It's
Oh my
awesome.
god!
It is,
Yeah.
because again, you're there working more than you were at home.
Yeah.
Right.
For a good chunk of the show.
Moving into a house while working a full-time job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I know. I probably have one of the jankier trucks in the or trailers in the industry. Mine I got from it was a moving truck. So
Okay.
my jockey boxes are those really short ones that they would just put sound blankets in. So I'm always envious of people with like.
Does a bin fit in those or no?
No.
No.
Oh no. Yes, they do. I'm
They
sorry.
do,
Yes,
yeah.
they do. One bin will fit in there. So we got that pretty loaded. But
Do you
Yeah.
still have the first trailer that you got? Is it the same one?
no, I have a second trailer because again I was on Alias and I had this trailer that. And I'm not going to mention Teamsters names because I'll die.
Smart.
But I had this one Teamster who hated the fact that I had a trailer because he wasn't getting a rental from it. So,
Right.
And it was an old trailer, but it was still working. It was fine.
Yeah.
And he convinced the production that my trailer wasn't roadworthy.
Yeah.
So I had to get another trailer. And again, in the middle of shooting that insane show, I had to put two trailers back to back and shove everything over.
Yeah.
And the second trailer that I bought, I traded my my first trailer into the guy, and he's like, "There's nothing wrong with this trailer." I'm like, "Okay, whatever." So, but the second trailer I've had it for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So now that you've gone through a whole show with the trailer, right?
I love it so much.
Yeah, it's a world of difference.
Oh my gosh,
course.
it's a world of difference. I feel professional.
Right.
No,
not,
yeah.
not saying that people who don't have a trailer, they're not professional.
No, they don't wanna
not
be
at
there.
all. But
No.
it was just definitely a step in my career that I really wanted.
No, yeah.
there-
and it's
and-
more income.
Definitely, yeah. I do like
the
that
income's
part.
big.
That's the huge part.
But it's also just like you have everything there.
Yes.
You have everything there. So because I've done a couple commercials or lower shows or ones like I don't have the trailer. I have a cargo van for the nature of the show, but I don't have the trailer in right now. And they're like, "Oh, do you have this?" It's like every answer is like, "Well, in my trailer, I do."
Right.
Not here right now.
Sure.
If I had my whole trailer on, I'd be able to do that. It's like this is why I tried to sell you on the trailer. That's it.
Yeah. What's that saying? Like skip over dollars to save pennies.
Oh,
or
totally.
something like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, totally.
Like it'll be worth it if you want my trailer. It'll be worth it.
100%. I mean, for me, it's a deal breaker. I mean, I've only one time let them convince me not to have my trailer, and just like you said, it was a nightmare. We had to shove everything into a storage space, and anytime they wanted something, we're like, yeah, I have it. It's just at the storage space.
Yeah, we
which
gotta
is
like
a long way away.
Yeah, you gotta
So-
go way back and try to get it anyway.
Yeah, it's no kind of fun. And then, of course, when you do a period show, I had, like when I did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I had to download everything off my trailer because it was all contemporary.
Oh, yeah.
Like all of my kit.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that with people that jump between westerns and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They literally puke their entire trailer out at a thing.
Exactly.
It's okay, we got to put just gun belts and
Yeah, 100%.
like you have to have 10 leather bins up and stuff like
yeah,
that.
no, and that's true because every show is different. Now, you've never done a Western. You've done parts of Western,
Parts,
right?
like, their Roar, there was that episode,
Right.
which was a Western. And then the show I'm currently working on now, I wouldn't say it's not 1850s. It's not 1800s. But it takes place at an 1800s reenactment
I see.
thing. So,
Like a LARP?
no, it's like those reenactment
Right, like the Civil War.
museums
Oh,
and
I
stuff
see.
like that.
I see.
Yeah, so
Right.
it's
Sure.
contemporary still.
Right.
But there's a lot of that.
But
so
all
it's
the
like
props are
playing
from
with
the
both.
1800s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but no, not 100% Western. No,
Do you have any desire to do period?
I have desire to do everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yes, I definitely want. I do like doing period pieces. I would love to do a Western. I think there will definitely be a learning curve, which
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not
Well,
afraid of doing.
Definitely is.
But I
it's
think
fun.
what in my career, like something that I really want to do, it's like I love Game of Thrones. I love fantasy.
Oh yeah, totally.
I would love to do sci-fi. I like the
Oh,
idea
yeah.
of fabricating a lot of things
Right.
that don't exist and working with those
That's
artists
what I
too
wanna do
and
more
creating.
than
That's
everything.
kind of I'm putting that into the universe.
Nice.
Let's see if I get it back.
Yeah.
You will.
It's out there in the universe.
So at
right
this
now.
point, then, how much have you done much shows that you've needed to conceptualize like props and stuff like
there's been
that,
a
or
few-
manufacture?
Yeah, a few little things I've got to dabble in it, but it wasn't like Star Trek where everything.
Right.
No, right,
Nothing
right.
like that, but it's like
Not where you need a whole team of concept artists.
Right.
On your,
someday.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't gotten that yet.
Nice.
No, I feel like before that enter that, I would love to assist just to wrap my head around it. Even like, what's the process?
Yeah.
The very basics, but we'll see how it happens. We'll
Yeah,
see.
well, that's actually a great idea, to be able to try to get on something as an assistant so you can,
Yeah.
get close to it without having to, take it on.
Yeah.
Because it's very daunting.
Yeah.
For
there's a
sure, but
big learning curve
but,
there.
but you rise to the occasion. And
Yeah,
that's-
we'll
that's
see
the
what
challenge.
happens, and
Yeah.
you go with it, and we'll see.
Well, you have a great attitude, so I'm sure you'll succeed at
Oh.
it.
I hope.
So, not to bring the room down,
Oh, great.
Okay.
since you are in a family where you're both in the industry, how did you guys fare the strikes?
I feel like we did pretty good. Yeah.
Did you guys continue to work at all, or you just were able to make it happen?
I mean, I worked.
Yeah, he worked this recent one where I had some time off, which
Right.
was great. But then I was planning a wedding, so it was really perfect.
Excellent.
And people were actually able to go because,
Oh.
Right,
They
because
weren't working?
yeah, 100%.
but yeah, I feel like we've been pretty good. For this one, it's we're not on a strike yet, but
Well, we're in the
there's a lot
residuals of it all.
yeah,
still.
there's definitely scare going on too. I'm working right now, I'm really lucky.
Yeah.
Just prepping.
Yeah, back-to-back jobs too. it
Anybody,
seems like,
anybody
too, right?
who's
Yeah.
working right now
Awesome.
is blessed for sure because
Yeah.
so many people are not.
That's what we keep saying on set. Because it's a tough show, but anytime we're starting to complain a little bit, we're like, we're one of the only games in town right now.
Yeah,
But we also don't
100%.
want to be taken advantage of with that attitude.
Oh,
Careful
totally.
of that.
Exactly, and that's a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
Because that is happening out there. There are people taking advantage of the people who are working, but it's still better than not working.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Very true.
But
No.
I mean, and again, for me, once we get past this, it's still going to be about where do we go from here? Where is the industry going? Because it's not just these strikes or threats of the strikes. It's this whole attrition that's happened. Okay.
A lot of productions are going to London.
Yes,
what I'm
100%.
Is Beef coming back? Like, how does the show do too
I was-
good? It has to come back, right?
As last I heard from Sunny and this was a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was not officially greenlit. And then I just read
What?
Yeah. I'm sure it will be, but it's like...
It was like the hottest thing for a minute.
Yeah. It wasn't officially greenlit at that time. I'm sure they're talking about it and creating it. But then I read an article a couple days ago that was released saying, they added new cast.
Right.
But it's still not greenlit, but they're still trying to figure it out. So I don't
shows that
I
I
don't know.
did, they ended up getting. I always found out through, Variety before the producer actually hit me up.
Rarely,
you know what I mean?
really. So again, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I always find that the Teamsters always seem to know things before anybody else. I don't know how that is.
Really?
100%.
Maybe because they get to know the producers earlier.
Or I don't know. Or maybe because they hear people in vans. I don't know. What
Oh, yeah.
That's fair.
I don't know. But I've discovered that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of texts about beef. And they're like, here, I heard it's greenlit. I'm like, oh, is it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get the call. Who knows? I hope so.
Yes, you will.
We'll see.
So coming from, because you started off doing just a bunch of traveling jobs, do you travel much anymore? Or
Not much.
Mostly everything's been in town lately?
Yeah, which I'm happy because, family life.
Yeah.
You know.
Which is about to get a little bigger, right?
Yes, it is.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't normally carry this belly around. Not in the
I didn't
stunt career, at
notice,
least.
but that's great.
So if you hear me burp, I'm so sorry, but that's a symptom that's going
It's
through.
the baby.
Yeah, blame the baby. Or pregnancy brain if that happens. I'm really trying.
How far along are you?
I am 23 weeks today.
Wow.
So,
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm scared.
Congratulations.
Terrified. It's my first.
Yeah.
We do have a 12-year-old right now, from his previous marriage, but
Yeah.
this is my first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then how long's this job supposed to go to?
Well, we just pushed 3 weeks, so I had that conversation with the producer being like, we're supposed to wrap November 6th, and I'm due November 10th. I don't think I can make it. I already started researching, hospitals of where we're supposed to be filming at that time.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case
Just
I pop.
in case.
Who knows? But what a fun story would that be?
Right.
Yeah.
So have you had a lot of morning sickness?
I did on my last show. I did when I first found out in February. Because, I'm very fortunate. I did back-to-back.
Yeah.
I hopped on this one. I only had a week off in between.
Right.
And there was a few close calls and some meetings with producers.
Oh, no.
Whew. But, yeah.
But you made it.
I made it.
Successfully.
Not one projectile.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow, that's going to be fun.
It'll be another adventure.
Another adventure.
Yeah. Going through it right now, trust me.
Yes, you are, Michael.
Yeah, I might be
Fantastic.
picking your brain.
Oh, yeah, no,
How
that's
do you
fine.
do this?
Yeah, well, it helps when there's a whole strike and, a whole thing
Yeah,
where you're not
right.
working at all.
That's true.
Ask me again in about 6 more months when you are too.
Okay. All right.
And hopefully I will be working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. So is there something, well, we talked about the things that you haven't done that you want to do. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody that you want to work with that you haven't, in particular, that you're thinking of?
I'm going to say no one's really jumping out to mind, but anyone who's just a decent person.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, I've been fortunate to work with some pretty amazing people.
Yeah.
Without the ego,
Right.
It's okay to be confident in what you do. But the beautiful thing about this industry is working with different personalities that bring so many different things to the table that help me excel, that teach me things about even myself, and that's what I like.
Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of this people who have egos or
Right.
the actors in big head where everybody caters to them. They're like, oh yeah, well that person's a genius. I've started to come to the point where I don't care. Even if they produce really nice stuff, I just don't have the patience for it.
Just be a good person. I want
Right.
to enjoy coming to work.
Yes, exactly.
And I want to help you.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to be forced to help you.
I don't care if it was a huge hit and a giant blockbuster and everybody if I was miserable the whole time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's okay, it came with some trauma, but hey, we did it.
It's my career where I would want to go is it's not specifically the person. It's more about what that person represents and
Sure.
the creativity of the project.
Right.
I'll read that script. I'm like, oh, this will be so amazing.
Yeah, well, that's the beautiful thing. When you start when your career advances, where you could start making choices about what you want to do, as opposed to I just have to take whatever job comes down the road.
I am still struggling with that because
I know, it's hard to say no.
I have a hard time saying no. I'm going to have to, obviously, for obvious
Yes.
reasons of family.
Right.
But I'm still always terrified. What if? Which I guess is humbling. It's a good thing to be humble,
Yeah.
but you also got to be confident too.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I don't think there's any shows that I've turned down that I regret having turned down.
yeah,
So there's that.
good to know. You're not helping my problem.
Well, I think you're going to be like. Luckily, you gained a lot of traction really fast
Yeah.
with the type of shows that you were getting. Like,
Yeah.
it just seems like you went from like a lot of low budget stuff to automatically like network kind of style television.
Yeah, basically when I came
almost
here
overnight.
to Los Angeles, it's
Yeah.
like once I joined that union, someone put my name in the hat and I got it, and it just kept, got this job, it's wrapped up, but this person knows this
Yeah.
show coming up.
Yeah.
And it just kept going.
That's called being good.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cream
It's called-
rises to the top.
That's what I mean. Like, obviously, word went around. Rose Leiker's a great prop master, and
and-
now he started getting hiring and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So I'm thinking, like, it's especially when it's slow right now. Now, when it starts getting super busy, you'll probably have a pick of the litter.
Yeah.
So maybe you can do
I've
when
been
it's more.
fortunate. I would say a couple months ago when people were scared about everything, there was a few options out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the two other ones that I didn't choose shut down.
Yes.
Right.
And
So you
the one-
picked the right
I
one.
happened
See,
to-
you're already
Oh,
picking the right
thank
way.
goodness.
You're already picking the right ones.
Right.
Thank goodness.
Wow. So, have you had a lot of challenges being a female prop master?
Yeah, I would say I've been definitely judged, beforehand. I remember in Louisiana,
Oh, right.
every prop master I met was, an older gentleman.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of them grumpy. Sorry, I'm not going to name names.
Sure, of course.
But, yeah, I know that even before that one, I wanted to be an AD and I was doing a lot of PA jobs.
Right.
There was a lot of comments of, sorry, we already have a female on our crew. We don't want to hire another one.
Wow.
Sorry. So there's been that. But, I've been able to surpass it. Luckily. It's like, if you're not going to give me this opportunity, it's your loss.
Right.
It's fine. I'll find it somewhere else. But yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you put that to rest pretty quick.
I try. There's also been, it's not just about, it's also ageism too.
Right.
I've been
Right.
judged because I was a lot younger. I started pretty young
Yeah.
propping. But I was able to get those low budgets and my resume was able to speak first. I was always so nervous to interview
Yes.
because I'd rather just look at my resume, just hire me and see if you like me. Don't judge me by an interview, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I might not
hate
necessarily
interviewing.
fit that mold, at least of what it used to be back in the
Mm-hmm.
day. And I'm not going to change.
Yeah.
Do you find that you have difficulty negotiating deals?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm much better at negotiating for my crew.
Right.
But when it comes to myself, I'm not the best.
Right.
And I was just talking to Mikey about like trailer negotiations earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to work on that. I got to work on it.
Yeah.
I could. I did the
No.
negotiating workshop that the union offered
Oh, nice.
a while back.
Did it help?
Yeah, it did help. It gave me some, strategies to do it.
Yeah. And what she was saying is like, because I started talking to a lot of, like, through PMG and stuff like that, other prop masters, and they started telling me, he's like, oh, yeah, my trailer starts when I do. And I was like, that's an option?
Yes.
Like,
I didn't learn that until recently.
Yeah.
Actually. Seriously, I've been doing this forever, and I was like, "What? Wait, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I love
more
that.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, at least now I'm going to go in there and be like, well, my trailer usually starts when I do. Let's just see what happens.
that's
You
it.
know?
And
Yeah,
it's so nice. I think it was Teresa who started this, but a while back she was getting a survey going.
yes,
And I've been looking at that,
yeah.
and I'm like,
it's very helpful.
so many times producers have tried to lowball me. They're like, oh no, everyone gets this much. It's like,
Right.
no. I
Yeah.
have this whole thing.
Yes.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no.
Yeah, in the members portal. If you're a PMG member, make sure you're submitting your shows out there.
Yeah,
I think I
100%.
still gotta
Because
submit this one.
Yeah.
there's power in our solidarity.
It
with
really
that,
is.
for
There
sure.
is. Definitely.
It's
there
interesting
is.
now because more New York people are submitting there, and it's crazy. It's awesome to see the differences between
Oh,
us.
what are can you?
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
New York. I mean, they
They
They do
they're-
provide
to-
different things. Than
They,
we do
yes,
in
they
LA.
they have
do.
to
They
have to
do.
provide like for Village, instead of not just chairs, they bring in the air conditioning units, the tents.
The makeup tables, I heard, right?
I don't probably.
And they're more involved in the picture car aspect.
They
Sure.
are in charge of
They
the
are,
picture cars and
in
stuff.
charge.
So they bring a lot more stuff on their thing, but they also get like $3,000 a month.
I did see that. I was recently looking. I was like, who gets 3,000?
Yeah, New York.
Yeah.
I really got lowballed.
Yeah.
New York.
Okay, it's New York. That makes sense.
But no, that's going to be an ongoing conversation with the guild too. Actually, I think in 44 as well. We're going to meet on a 44 level and actually talk about it and see if we can collectively unify and get better rates on our trailers and stuff.
We'd like to do rates and then crew size.
Right.
You know, I feel like those are the two big things that it's really hard to negotiate, and I don't know. Maybe I just need to work better at it or something. But
well, no, it's true. I mean, and they always want to push back, so it just becomes about how much clout you have, I guess, as, how much do you really want me? My argument is always, I'm not just me. My reputation is based on my crew. Mm-hmm. Okay, I do the job that I do because I have the proper crew.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've had to turn down jobs where like you're the one person. It's like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even if you have a set crew, for them to say, well, you're just one person prepping. It's like, you don't do that. You have an assistant. Mm-hmm. And and you're a producer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not getting stuff. Is like a property person. So to think that we could do it without any support, that's crazy.
And then they try to toss in a PA for you.
Like, yeah.
No.
Right.
Can't. My union says no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Union says no.
You say, what did the Grips say when you offered to give them a Grips PA? Oh, yeah? You didn't? Oh, okay.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, and how well did that work for you in Rust? So...
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah, you just brought it down again.
Sorry. Well, we could do that. We're going to have another. We're supposed to have a follow up about Rust, but who knew what was going to happen?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, that's. I mean, personally, I think. I mean, not to go down that rabbit hole, but I think it was a good thing.
I agree.
Okay.
Chris and I have talked about it. He's a first AD, so we're on both sides of that argument, or not argument, but you know what I mean. I agree.
Well, my point is that, he's an actor, and he was acting, and it's our job, and the first AD's job, to make sure that the gun's safe.
Yeah.
It's great if they want to check it, and I'm sure every actor will now.
I think they should. I think
Moving
there
forward?
should be more classes to make sure that happens, so they at least know what they're checking and know what they're
Sure.
looking at.
100%.
It's like a lot of people don't know that a blank looks different than a real bullet, or
Right.
even how to check what a dummy is.
Right.
Yeah, but it also should be on the armorer and the prop master to show them how, because they're not always going to know. And it's a lot of times when I go up to actors, they're like, well, I don't even know what to look for. I was like, well, let me tell you real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's like, I'm going to shoot. This is showing that there's nothing down the barrel. You know what I
Right.
mean? This is that means there's no gunpowder in it. That rattle that you hear. Yeah, it does.
That happened to me on Alias. It was the very first episode of the very first season.
Oh.
And I was on my way from ISS to a production meeting, the very first production meeting, and I had all the weapons for the show in the jump seat of my pickup truck, like stacked to the top. And I got pulled over for speeding.
Oh, no.
And again, thankfully, it was Burbank police and not LA PD. But the cop walked over and he took a look in the back and he saw
the rugs.
The rugs.
Yeah.
And immediately I went into explanation mode.
Yeah. I'm traveling with a bunch of assault rifles.
Right. It's like, I'm a property master on the television. It was like, okay. But it got more complicated after that, unfortunately. But
did he make you take them all out?
No, he didn't make me take them all out. But what he did do is he said, "Listen," he goes, "I'm going to go run your
EFP,
and see. Well, no, just run and make sure everything's cool." And I'm like, "Okay, great." So he went back and he came back and he goes, "So, anything you want to tell me?" I'm like, no. He goes,
you got some unpaid parking tickets.
Exactly. He's like, he's like, there's no outstandings. I'm like, no, absolutely not. And he goes, you sure about that? And any parking tickets you didn't pay? I'm like, no, not at all. He said, he goes, think back. It was like December 2002 or something. I was like, Yeah, I remember I made an illegal turn on Melrose. He goes, yeah, that's it right there. I said, I paid that. And he goes, no, you didn't. I said, really? He goes, you've been driving on a suspended license for 2 years. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's like, yeah, I'm not kidding you. I said, well, what's going to happen now? He goes, well, what could happen is I could confiscate all these weapons. Oh. I said, and then I'll get fired. He goes, yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you a minute, and you could call somebody, and they could come and get all these weapons because this vehicle's not moving.
Wow.
So I had to call my assistant, Gina Fox, and she had to come over with her car.
God.
We had to throw all the guns into the trunk of her car, and I missed my first production meeting.
Oh no!
Oh,
Did you just pay it and they?
Oh yeah! Oh
reactivated
man, it
it?
was a nightmare, but I did. I had to pay
Oh, my
like
God.
$700 or whatever, go down to the court.
Yeah,
all of that,
Or they
so-
just kept getting worse
Oh
there.
yeah, it
It's
was
like,
just
damn.
it was a complete nightmare.
Oh man.
But we survived it. Guns. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
So I mean, it will be interesting to see now what happens. With weapons on set and all that. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think again, this dismissing the case is going to be good for us in that sense. Although I do say that I hope that they don't release Hannah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I think that would be a mistake.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So
Do you have anything that are you allowed to talk about anything you're going on to, or is it secret?
I mean, I can tell you what it is, but I don't think I can tell you plot.
Oh
details.
yeah, of course.
I mean,
come on, give us a storyline.
so this is a story. These are the actors. This is
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm currently on the Kendrick Lamar Trey Parker project, the feature film. So I've been on it for a few weeks. We start shooting in September, one day in August.
Oh wow.
All shooting in town.
In town.
Nice.
Yes, potentially, or a good chunk in Bakersfield, maybe.
Okay.
It's a movie.
It is a feature.
Awesome.
Yes, a musical.
Oh,
a
very
musical.
cool.
Yeah, I don't know to what extent yet.
A hip hop musical.
We'll see.
Sweet.
We'll
So-
see. I haven't heard any of the music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably
You've read
can't.
the script. Then.
I have read the
Yes.
script.
So
you know.
are you doing instruments and all that?
No instruments just yet.
Okay. You've done that before.
I'm a musician, or
Right.
at least I guess you could
Yeah,
say
yeah.
I was a musician.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if I qualify. I like karaoke now, so maybe that's the only instrument I really use. A little piano, a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I've done like a few musical like shows with like The High Note was all about that. Miles Davis, of course. So
Right.
it's, like, not
Nice.
scared about those.
Yeah.
Kinda like
Those
them.
are fun.
Makes me feel like, oh,
You're part of the band.
yeah, it does make me feel
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
That's fun. Except I always find that whenever I do something with musicals, just to play back after like 2 days or something is like drives you insane.
Yeah.
I
You're
did.
hearing the same song over and over again.
I did one music video, and I was like, wow, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I don't like music videos.
Do you do music videos?
I used to do more. I used to production design music videos like before I went all in on prop mastering. I think I was telling you that because
Yeah.
I did one of Kendrick Lamar's early music videos and
Nice.
a lot of like them. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not as into it. Just I don't like to deal with, like we were talking about egos earlier. It's
Right.
Like, if you
Oh
want
my
to put
God.
yourself right in the line, if you think actors are bad,
Yeah.
music artists are 1,000 times worse.
Yes.
It's you can plan all you want. It's a show up when they want to show up.
Right.
It's
I don't get it. We're here for you.
Right.
I don't
Right.
get that.
I know.
Right.
It's
And then
a job.
yeah, and then if
Come
it starts
on.
going too long, they start throwing tantrums. Like
Right.
I just don't want to
Yeah.
be there
It's
anymore.
not a good environment. It's so negative.
No, and that's the thing about like if you have a crew that's a family environment, like it's so welcoming. You like to be there. You like to be
Yeah.
around these people. So if you're just not appreciated in the thing, it's just not.
No,
worth it.
exactly. It's just not worth it. So it's too hard already. Then to have to put up with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And again, like you're with them more than you are with your family. It's like,
yes.
I'm choosing you over my family right now. No.
Yeah.
But then again,
Exactly.
you do have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the younger generation has that self-preservation part of themselves. Because again, I grew up in a time in a generation where you just taking abuse was just okay. So I'm glad to see that that's not happening so much.
No, things are
Anyway.
changing. I
Yeah.
mean, those people are not. They're starting to be taken down now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Those abusive people. Everything's coming to light now. So
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's part of the way the industry's shifting, I guess.
Exactly.
Let's keep it that way. I like it.
yeah.
All right. Well, You guys have anything else?
Well, thanks guys for having me here.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
It was
It's
definitely
great to have you
I was
here.
like, oh, the text or email that I got, I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
Definitely nervous, but wow.
I'm so
You
grateful.
did
you
great.
I've been wanting you to
You're
get
very natural.
it. Yeah. And you're one of the next big prop masters, so we had to get you.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
And it'll air on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. I know my poor Mikey's got to like jump into editing immediately.
Oh, it'd be fine. Luckily, we have a nice tech director here.
I know,
able
right?
to
Thank
help
you,
us.
Chris. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Literally jumped in at the last minute.
We'll
so
see.
Yeah.
we'll see. Exactly.
It's fine. For everybody else out there, what tickets are on sale right now to the MacGuffin Awards? Yeah, or the first ever award show for Property Masters. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, make sure you get them. I believe voting is open. It's
Yes,
probably still
till the
open by the
20th.
time this came out
right.
to vote for nominations for members. Is it the 20th?
I believe it's the 20th.
The 20th.
Is the deadline of July.
Yeah, and then we will have our Do you have any shows in the running?
I have beef.
You have beef in the
Oh,
running.
that's a shoo-in.
Yeah, Curb almost made it, but Curb will be next year.
Next year. Well,
Yeah.
good luck. Good luck
Thank
to
you,
you.
thank
Hopefully you
you.
get a nomination and everything. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I went through. There's so many of them. There was like over
Right.
145.
Yeah.
Did
I know,
you
I
guys
was-
look through
I
them?
looked.
Because I
Oh
was
my
like, this is
God.
gonna be real quick.
Yeah,
I'll just spend 30 minutes. I was like, that's not.
Yeah,
enough.
how do you vet all these commercials? That's my thing. It's like,
The commercials are one of the easier ones for me.
just
I
look
thought
'em up?
because I could watch them. Yeah,
Right.
the other ones you can't really watch, so you're kind of going based off of a lot of the material that the
Right.
prop master. And some of these packets are beautiful. Like they were so good, and they they're kind of jaw dropping, like how much stuff they did and some of the
Right.
descriptions they went in. So like it probably took me 6 hours, like broken up, but to sit
Right.
down and just like really go through everything
Yeah.
and like analyze everything and make a decision, because there's like, I don't know, some categories you go in like, oh, I'm definitely voting for this person. You went through and you're like, oh wow,
Right.
well, this person like completely re-revolutionized the
Sure.
way we look at and we use these props in
Right.
the industry now.
Yeah,
and that's
you know
the-
what I mean?
and
And,
that's
it's like
the
that's a
point.
huge thing.
Yeah,
Right.
it's huge.
Yeah, because your knee-jerk reaction is to pick it based on the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
very
like,
true.
that was a great movie. It's like, wait a minute, but was it a great prop movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it's like, oh, this person did hundreds of swords, and then
Yeah.
they did the rubbers and the doubles that went. It's like, holy crap! So it's kind
the
of like
dream.
I know it kind of like blows your mind in there. So I'm like, I don't know. It made me pretty proud of like all these prop masters
Right.
and stuff, and anywhere from here to all the ones in the UK and in Europe. Like
Yeah.
a lot of those prop masters have done some outstanding work.
Amazing.
That
It's
yeah.
pretty remarkable, and it's so amazing that PMG is helping shed that light.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
You know, that we're not just under the veil of just art department.
Right.
Oh,
That
yeah.
totally.
we do more like just some recognition.
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Really neat.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Yeah. So I think if this comes out, and it might be too late by the time this comes out, so that'll be there. But either way, go to MacGuffinAwards.com or PMGAwards.com also, and you can buy tickets to the show itself there. It's gonna be a good time. There's going to be lots of drinks. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres. There's going to be a nice after party that I think Josh Roth is going to be DJing.
Nice.
It's going to be awesome. Yeah. So, that's going to be in September. Buy your tickets now. Is that everything? Oh, I have to do my little spiel. Thank
The
you again.
spiel. Yes, thanks so much, both. to you.
Yeah. Thank you all to tuning into another episode of Prop Talk, the official podcast of the Property Masters Guild, brought to you by retired and working prop masters. If this is your first time listening, please make sure to like, subscribe, do all these things, comment wherever you're hearing this or watching this. We're on YouTube. So do all that. If you like more information on the Property Masters Guild or have any questions for us here at Prop Talk, be sure to go to propertymastersguild.com or .org, sorry, propertymastersguild.org. We're also on Instagram @_the PMG and all other socials. I'm Mike Trudel, and that's it. Until
See
next
ya.
time.